Okay, moving right along. BCS management presentation. Right up here, gentlemen.
Thank you for letting us approach. I want to thank Nathan for allowing us to be here to present. So I'll be brief. BCS Management, I'm a managing director. My name is Christopher. This is Justin, my colleague. He's primarily responsible for the connection financing program. So he's going to hand out some information about that, just so you can kind of see what we'd like to share with your Project 6 property owners, as well as anybody else who in the district needs help connecting. So BCS Management is a municipal consulting company that's primarily based here in the Northeast Indiana, but we work all over the state with various economic development organizations, commissioners, and regional sewer districts. Justin has the pleasure of administrating one in Howard County. I have the pleasure of administrating one in Montgomery County currently. So we just appreciate all the hard work you do. It's a very thankless job, especially if you're on the board. So thank you for the good work you do to help the environment, public health, and economic development here at Adams County. I'll let Justin share more details about the connection financing program.
So just a high level, very high level outline. Before you, there's just a handout, some information outlining the program. We offer financing specifically for sewer connections. This is apart from the district. We're not asking for endorsement or sponsorship or anything like that. This is simply an option for customers that don't have the savings or have fallen on financial hardship. And so a very easy process. They go to our website, fill out an inquiry. I would then contact them, send them a link. It's a pre-qualification link. It takes 10 to 15 minutes to fill out. It goes to the third-party lender. They send me back the numbers. I get in contact with the potential customer, explain the numbers to them, the details, and they either give me a thumbs up or a thumbs down, and that's pretty much it. We finance it. We'll work directly with the contractors, arrange for the permits, things of that nature. So just want to come introduce ourselves, introduce this as a possible option for your customers with any project ongoing or moving forward.
So a third party reviews the credit of that person, whatever the score is, and then so A and B, they could have two different interest rates on what they're doing.
Depending on the credit.
Yeah, he got a good score, he doesn't.
Yes.
A little difference, whatever it is.
Yes.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay.
So what are the terms you're talking about as far as the length of the payback for this?
It varies. I've seen it pushed out over a 10, 12-year period even.
What sort of surety do you have against our customers for the payback? And what sort of guarantees? Is this just a private loan that you're essentially offering to the property owners?
That's correct. Yes.
So interest rate ranges that you're seeing from good credit to low credit. I mean, if they're borrowing the money, they're likely not sitting with the cash on hand.
correct.
So you're
Yes.
talking about customers that are in tough straits.
Yeah.
Now they're gonna have an extra monthly payment for 10, 12 years on top of that.
Yes.
So what sort of rates are you?
Typically on average, I'm seeing around 9.9, 10.9.
So
Which is, if you don't have the money saved up and you need to have it,
yeah,
someone is probably done. The average APR on credit cards now is unfortunately 24%.
yeah, I mean, it's gonna be better than going to your credit card and trying to swipe that.
That's
for it.
correct.
But I don't know that I necessarily am excited about encouraging my customers that are in tough situations to get themselves into a deeper hole, trying to get themselves more credit against that.
Yeah, simply an option.
So what does that cover exactly? Just the hookup,
The connection, yes.
just the connection only?
Mhm. It would cover the connection fees, contractor pricing,
Okay.
permit, all that stuff.
It's similar to what we have now with the USDA loan that people can apply for. That's the only option we've ever really had in our office is the USDA. And in 9 years, we've had one person that's qualified for it, and it took 4 years to do. So they sat there with a system that wasn't hooked up for 4 years. So when they came to us about this and just said, hey, this is an option, customer based, the sewer district has, I mean, it's an option for us to just say, hey, these are a couple options. I mean, we all know USDA here in the last year has let go of probably close to half of their employees. So that, with it being 4 years it took to do the one, we just thought, you know what? Something setting here, because we get a lot of customers that come in that say, look, I don't have no money to do this. And what's happening too is contractors now are starting to do these things for these guys and then not getting paid. So we're possibly losing our contractors that are doing these too. I just felt this is an option that I wanted to at least let them explain to the board. If it's something that, I mean, even if we don't put it in our office, somebody can still find them to do it. They can, I mean, we've told people, go to your local bank. I mean, I know, but it just seems like out of sight, out of mind. If they're not gonna do anything, we're not gonna do anything type of a thing. So we just thought this was just something that we could, I mean, we're not pushing for it, but if somebody says, hey, here's the USDA one, here's this one, these are what we have. It's totally up to you. It's not a requirement. I mean, you can we tell them, go to your local bank and see if they'll give you a loan. So
We're really not tied to it.
we're not tied to this at all.
Not at all.
No, we have no connection with them when it comes to the connection.
It's just more options for the homeowner.
It's an option for the homeowner.
Okay.
And like I said, this is just simply an introduction and an awareness piece.
And I'll just add this real quick. So we developed this program because we would be working with municipalities. Some will have Barrett Law financing to be able to provide funding and loans to be serviced, like Fort Wayne provides Barrett Law financing for homeowners to install sidewalks and other things that are public infrastructure that are required. They have a mechanism in an office and a way to collect payment and to manage that. We also work with like Aqua, Essential Utilities. They have a program that goes up to $15,000 for connection financing for their homes when they're installing water or wastewater. But sometimes those connections can be greater than $15,000. We stand in the gap, but as like an additional funding source to be able to get, it's like an 800-foot long run up to the home. Let's say it's $20,000 for the project. We can fill that 5,000. So then that person is, sometimes it is people with great credit and they're tier one and they get a 6% interest rate. That's the lowest interest rate we offer. And they do it just as a convenience. It's like, I don't have to think about this. Hey, my local board decided to run sewer. Now I'm compelled to connect. I would like to do that as painlessly as possible. This is a way to offer that. And so we've had success helping with that. Hancock County, Allen County, some other places, Montgomery County, Howard County. So just especially when an RSD does not have an existing loan program that they offer to their customers.
Better Business Bureau or anything, you guys, any support your organization or you're part of, or?
We could look up with a third party lender. We're a dealer of the financing, so we're not making the loans.
Okay,
We simply provide the mechanism for them to do it. We're really facilitating that. We
okay.
don't carry the debt, so we could look up Foundation Finances, BBB.
Yeah, if someone wants to say,
settle
hey,
that
you
so
guys
you can
are
see
you
that.
guys legitimate, or, I don't, I'm not implying anything, just in this world today. Okay,
Yeah, we can provide information on the lender, because that's ultimately who they're repaying, and that's who we help them facilitate the loan, but then they're paying Foundation Finance back. It's not us. We're not giving them. a loan.
okay, good. Yeah, any other question, guys? Oh,
How are your fees calculated? Are they baked into the repayment schedule? With the lender?
The administration fees,
Mhm.
they are, yes.
Who are some of the lenders that you're working with?
Strictly foundation finance.
Strictly Foundation?
Finance.
Was that like other foundations or? I guess I'm not,
It's just the name of it. They're a
That's what
third
it's
party
called.
lender. They'll lend money for roofs, for
Okay.
HVAC, for windows, pretty much anything home improvement.
okay,
And so we were just the first ones in the country to say, what about for sewer? And they were like, well, let's try it. So
Okay.
for them, we're the first ones to do sewer with them.
Where are they located?
I think they're based in Ohio, but I'm not sure where they're headquartered. It's national. It's
Okay.
across the country.
And then selection of contractors. I know it says you help select contractors. What's that process look like? And are we talking about local contractors, or do you have some captive contractors that you typically use?
We have, we prefer local, in each section, we come up with a preferred vendor list.
Okay. And I assume that's something the district could probably also
We
provide you
want to
with
work with,
information.
that's ideal. We want to work with the district to say who are the right people
Okay.
who are passing inspection so that we can do that. But in a case where, let's say somebody doesn't have a good boring contractor or something, we do have people we can tap to be able to do hot taps, boring, excavation, laying pipe, whatever it is. But we prefer to work with somebody and who's local and they're gonna get the better deal anyway for pricing. They're gonna be the best deal most of the time.
All right. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you for your time.
You bet. Thank you, gentlemen. Okay. Approval of claims, board approval of payroll claims, vouchers, and SRF disbursements.
Couple of different items here. We've got the voucher claims for this month, total $93,876.21. And the payroll claims for the month are $6,641.49.
6,641.49.
6641.49. So we want to do that separate from the bank
Whatever
reconciliation.
you say.
As far as the bank reconciliation, the totals at the end of October 31st, the First Bank of Bern operating account sets with a balance of $637,422.52. First Bank of Bern Gold account at $394,111.83. Bank of New York with a total of $319,448.91. And the Bank of New York Project 5 account sets with a balance of $27,146.31. That's close to complete. So those are the balances that we have and the vouchers for the month.
Okay. Looking for a motion to approve?
I'll make the motion.
Second.
Any seconds?
Oh.
Dion seconds. John Carroll, Dion. All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Okay. Anything else there?
Nope. I don't think there's any other SRF disbursements. I'm sure Brooke would have that.
Did we have all your stuff on?
Brooke, you gonna answer that?
Yeah, there's one.
Yeah, I have one.
Yeah, so I think what we want to do, since Shannon's not here and we usually have him sign these, the SRF disbursement request forms for the record, then I think we need to have a motion to authorize Nate as secretary treasurer to sign the disbursement request forms for the board for this round.
Make a motion for Nate to sign. I'll make the motion.
I'll second it.
There we go. I'm
Okay.
gonna second your motion.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Same. Okay.
So yeah, and Brooke has them here.
Okay.
Let me go through them.
This first batch, this is from the websites that will be submitted basically for closing.
Closing, right, okay. So this is disbursement request forms for project 6. Is this first one here? Number 11, what is that one?
Okay.
do those. So the first one is, and this is with the beginning balance on this funding source of $3,971,000. And that, of course, which is what we will have. We'll have more than that, but this is this funding source for this project 6, which we'll have at closing or available at closing. The first one is to Baker Tilly. And that is for all of the work they've done here for the rate report since we started this project, and then also the bonds and the financing and financial piece for the sale of the bonds and closing and a loan with state revolving loan fund. So the amount is $90,000, and that's disbursement request number 1. Any questions on that? So do I have a motion to approve that one?
I'll make the motion to approve that claim. Disbursement request.
A second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Okay, number 2, disbursement request form number 2 is for Bose McKinney Evans. And they serve as bond counsel to SRF. And so as part of the financing, we're required to pay those fees, and that their amount is $11,534. So I need a motion for that.
I'll make the motion first. Second?
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed?
Next one, number 3, is to Miller, and Brown, and that's for legal and easement acquisition and project legal all the way from beginning until close, hookup, connection. And there's 2 installments. First one is $25,000. Any questions on that?
Motion?
I'll make the motion.
Nate. Second?
A second.
All in favor? Aye.
Okay, and then we've got number 5 is Barnes Thornburg for bond counsel. They were engaged here at the end towards financing and through the end of closing, and that is $40,000. Barnes and Thornburg.
Motion?
So moved.
Nate, second?
Second.
John Carroll.
That was number 5. Did we miss a number 4?
All in favor? Aye.
Or would you give me the people? I wasn't paying attention.
That was Barnes and Thornburg, number 5.
Barnes and Thornburg, 40K,
There's
Nate
1,
and
2,
John
3
Carroll.
here. Those are all 1, 2, 3.
On those are 4. Or would that?
Well, I think Ben's probably in there, isn't he?
No, that's separate. Okay, let me.
Yeah, that might have been for the parity report. I bet you're right.
Baker Tilly we did was 90 grand.
Yeah, that was just 1. There's 2 of them.
Let me look at that.
Well, I think we've got those. So we've got 1, 2, 3, and 5 approved. Give us a minute or so. We'll see if we can locate 4 and we'll come back to it.
We have more.
I think there's 1 more. Wait, you got another one too, though. We've already had this signed. We've already had it.
Yeah, those don't need signed, just the
Just the
other
forms.
pages.
Okay.
Ian had sent everything to Shannon and didn't know that Shannon wasn't going to be here today.
I hate it.
Put it here. Yep, it's Baker Tilly, And the amount was $6,500.
Okay, and that's number 4.
Trying to pad their pocket, huh?
Yes, that's right.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yes.
so disbursement request number 4 is also Baker Tilly, and that's for the parity report, and that's 6,500. So if we have a motion to approve that one as well, then we'll get the form and have Nate sign it.
I'm gonna get that signed after meeting. Get you.
Make motion.
Need a motion on that one.
Josh? Second?
I'll second.
John Carroll? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
And this is from prior project.
This is project 6 from Commonwealth. And we don't have enough funds to pay it, but the total,
Not a good sign.
Yeah.
but we don't have enough funds. So this one, we're asking for SRF to reimburse us, or to pay 30,000, I think 400, what was the amount on there? $30,084.34, but the total invoice amount is $55,329.77. So either we,
We don't have enough under this particular loan number, is that the
correct,
issue?
this is gonna wipe out
This is-
all of our,
This is closing
This was
out.
all leftover money.
This
Correct.
is some leftover that's getting closed out, and that's
Once we-
why
Yeah.
this one is disbursement request number 11, INT, is that interest?
Yep.
Okay, so that we had an accumulated interest is what it was?
Yep.
All right, and so that is sitting in a separate account, and so this is approving to basically clean out that account with leftover funds from project 4 or 5, wherever it came from, and spend that. And then that'll wipe that account out, and then going forward, everything will be paid out of project 6. So the balance of the balance of the invoice due to Commonwealth will be paid out of the other project, the new project 6 money.
So what was the first amount? 55,000, wasn't there something like that?
$329.77.
55, 329.77? Okay,
But the amount of this
Yeah.
approval
we're
is
approving
30,000.
30,000.
30,000 of that.
Yep, $30,084.34.
Clear as mud, guys, okay?
We're using interest from the previous project to pay a partial
Yeah.
payment and then the remainder. will
Yes.
go
Yeah.
To the current project.
And I wanna say that covers most of like the engineering and everything that's still
Yeah,
left.
it's
Sure.
through the bitch.
Sure. I can make a motion to approve it. Anybody got a second that? Dion, all in favor? Aye. Opposed? Settled.
Get you the rest of your money once we get the rest of the money.
We're skipping town. You're gonna get stuck to 20 grand.
Yeah, I'm okay.
Okay, you got anything else?
No, that was it.
Okay, I think that's all we've got then on disbursement request forms. And we'll get those signed here at the end of the meeting.
All right. You done then with? Yep. All right, I think we're moving along. District Superintendent Report.
Couple things that we need to make sure that we're doing. I got a call from the auditor's office, so it looks like John, Nate, and Dion, your guys' terms are up at the end of the year here. You guys re-upping? Cause I need to let her know.
I don't, mine might be compulsory, so.
Yeah. Because if not, I gotta start finding people.
When we
So,
do the reappointment, we'll
It
need to stagger
depends
them.
on the pay.
yeah, well, it's gone up.
Just gotta look at that.
It ain't no worse than last time.
When everybody expires, then let's look at this.
You're not gonna cut your pay.
What's
We need to
that?
Check the statute and then we'll stagger them.
John's in.
What's that
As long
mean?
as they get a raise.
I think last time we spoke about this, Brooke was mentioning something about how we want to stagger the terms. So we're not all expiring.
Well, Dion, that was the question that we had with you because you just came on last year. They thought maybe you would be next year, but they weren't sure. So if that's the case, then either way, yes, you would be good for next year. I just wanted, because they brought it to my attention, because you took over Dick's spot and Dick was in that position. You just took his leftover term, so we can actually piggyback it off of last year and make it just next year for you to stagger you there. Now, Nate and John, that you two were all brought in at the same time, so how can we stagger that? if-
We were just talking about that, so we'll look at it and come up with the schedule and we can have a conversation with whoever needs to be staggered and.
I thought when we organized the district, they set terms and durations, create some sort of a staggering, but
I think it got out of whack at some point and it needs to get,
Well, we've had
Realigned.
turnover, you know, I mean,
turnover and switching.
yeah,
One nice part is for the commissioners, they're only appointing at one
Yeah.
certain years,
Yeah.
but then they're also appointing essentially a big chunk of the board all at one time,
Yeah.
so.
and I know Jim, he has asked to step down after this year. I have got a couple people in mind and I was gonna give one person a call today that I think would be really, really good for the board. And you were just an open, right? Your position is just public? You weren't
I'm
appointed by
the
any?
commissioners.
Okay, so I'll just have to get with the commissioners on whoever I can get to agree to do this. And see what their thoughts are on it, but I would like to ask before I take it to the commissioners and say, hey, I mean, I've got somebody that's interested, and the person that I have in mind, I feel like the commissioners would be good with. So,
Somebody with experience, understanding what the.
Yes.
Does.
yes,
Yes,
I think he
Has the
fits,
time to do
fits
this.
every, box off, and that's the question I have to ask him, if he's got the time to do it. So he's retired, but I know most people that get retired are busier when they're retired than they are when they're working, so maybe not you, but.
I thought I was irreplaceable too.
So, I'm gonna reach out on that one. We had a company come in yesterday. We had that issue down at our, flow meter down at Lynn Grove, down in Bern. They had, when we had it recalibrated, calibrations checked, there was some issues with it. They ended up coming out yesterday. Looks like we're gonna have to redo some of the wiring in the pit. He said when he moved the wire, it jumped up to over 1,000 gallons on the screen. So we have some wiring issues there. I just told him, I was like, let's just get it fixed. Now, if it doesn't move, it's not a problem, but I mean, I'm sure there's no big breeze down in the pit, but that needs fixed. I mean, when they did fix the blades in it, ground the blade or sanded the blades down, the conductivity blades and stuff, that helped out a bunch. Our treatment rate went way down on that, as you can see. Just from, went down, what, 40,000 gallons, 50,000 gallons in a month. Once we did that, so I just said, let's get that thing fixed right. As for other projects, we still have some people hooking up on the Magley line and Clems Lake South. They are getting on those. We are knocking them off little by little, but now that it's starting to get a little wet, I have a feeling guys are gonna start getting back to those, because septic systems are now gonna be harder to be put in, and so we're still moving along. What'd we do last week? 2 or 3 of them got done, so guys are starting to get back on these. I'm on them now. I'm like, these need done. Some letters that we sent out, those are due in December, the 90 days, right, Jane? The letters that we sent out to the homeowners that we didn't have contractors on or anything, that was what, December that those were due, those 90-day notices.
I don't know the exact date.
Yeah, I think it was sometime in December. So, but I want to say there's been maybe 1 or 2 that have not responded to us on those, but everyone else has and said, look, we're just waiting on our contractor or whatever. So, but yeah, so we're moving along with that.
How many, are not hooked up yet? How many to go? With all the projects.
I mean, just from Project 5, because we've got some from
Yeah, I know.
that have not been hooked up from project 3. I'd say there's probably what, Noah, 10 or 12 of them that still have to be hooked up,
Somewhere in there.
somewhere in that number right there. I mean, Magley, there's houses that are real close and they're gonna hook both of them up at the same time. So you're knocking out 2 of them in a day that way. So, but I wanna say a good majority of them are done, and some houses just got sold and didn't know that they weren't hooked up yet, and nobody tells anybody anything after they sell their house, which shame on the realtor or somebody. But the previous homeowner usually calls back and says, why am I still getting this bill? It's because the new homeowner hasn't changed the bill into their name. So then that's when the information can get passed along. What else we got, Noah? Service truck, got a call yesterday. We're gonna run that up there. The bed should be here in the next week or 2. So they're gonna go ahead and get that put on. We got everything delivered for, other than our lift station pumps that we ordered. Everything is been shipped and we received. There's quite a bit of a back order on those lift station pumps, which was kind of shocking to me. So I guess when you order a lift station pump, it's built to order. So mid-January is when we're supposed to be getting, I think, 4 of the 6. The other 2 are still to be determined. So I'm glad that we're getting them, for the fact that if it takes that long to get a lift station pump, at least we'll have them in case we do have an emergency and we need to change one out. So I guess I didn't realize it took that long. I don't know if somebody has an emergency, how that works. They must have all over the place, but
Somebody to borrow a comparable pump, I guess.
I don't know.
Well, it's good for us to have.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Cleaning up out at the shop, the new building. We did some tree trimming last week. There was trees growing into the building on the backside, so we did some hacking and sawing, got those cleaned up. Been just trying to get things wrapped up, and been getting a lot of customer questions about Project 6. Been talking with a lot of people about different options. Met some people out at their houses on grinder locations just to kind of bring them to ease. They were worried about certain things. So just the calm before the storm situation. I did go out, me and Mark went out and got the easements done out at Bingen, and the Bingen property, the church out there. Got that all taken care of. That is a question. And I know a lot of you guys are here from the school board or from the church or school, about the rates. Right now, I have a project committee meeting, with our policy committee to visit this, to kind of come up, because what IDEM has on their rates, we're gonna discuss those. I don't want to give out numbers of what it is right now, but I feel like we can work on that to make it fair. But this is a board's decision, and I want to be able to make sure that we're doing our due diligence. And what the state says, I mean, even just for the church, it's based on how many seats, how many people can sit in your church. Well, if you got a 400 seat church, doesn't mean 400 people are there every Sunday. So what the state says and what we can do to amend this to make it fair is something that we need to really sit down and hash out. So we are trying to come up with a better solution, than what we're setting here with. Now, not saying that it might not change, but as of right now, we want to look at our options. So I know I've gotten some phone calls about, we need to know the rates. I know you guys have a school board meeting tonight. But bear with us. We are trying to make sure that we do this right.
Dave, we have churches elsewhere within the district that we serve currently, correct?
Yeah.
So part of this is gonna come down, really, but we don't have a school of their size in this, so that's.
We
probably
don't have a school, period.
period. So that's gonna be something that's probably gonna have the biggest impact to what they've gotta look at, I'm sure.
Yeah.
So,
And with your number of kids, full-time, part-time, that all changes through the school. So, we wanna look at our options here, cause
and probably the biggest is gonna be just meal prep and food prep that they have.
well, that does change, but honestly, in the schools itself, it doesn't say with or without a kitchen like it does the churches.
Okay.
It's just per student, and then that's full-time and or part-time student. So we want to make sure that we get these numbers right.
Do we have those those questions or those answers that you need? In other words,
Yes.
how many full-time do they have?
Yeah.
How many part-time,
You got all-
how many?
Yes, you've got.
So
the
we can make
run
an
of that.
informed, good. Decision.
After I met with them out at the church, at their, at one of their meetings, I ended up going to the school the next day, sat down with the principal. We did a walkthrough in the cafeteria, which was very helpful for the fact that you guys do have a dishwasher back there. I was able to pull up the data sheet for that and determine how many gallons it's using. And it was a good thing I looked, because that does have a recycling system in it. So we're not using 20 gallons for 30 times that thing runs. So that was helpful that I was able to find that information, because you take 20 gallons by 30 loads, that's a lot of water. It doesn't do that. So I was able to find that information, which is huge on gallons per day. So,
Sounds like you got the information.
Yeah.
you need to make.
yep. I told him I was gonna do my due diligence and make sure that I got the information, and I wanna make it to where it's fair to the school. But also at the same time that the district isn't, I mean, not being able to pay for what we're treating too. It's a little different than what we are in town, where they get metered through their water meter. They know how much they're using. You guys are a gravity system out there. Now, when school's out, I'll be able to see what houses are using, compare that. But by the time this project's over, you guys will be back in school anyway. So summer will be over, and so we won't be able to see that difference there. So just something that we're kicking some ideas around, and I'll definitely stay in contact with a couple of the people out there to kind of let you guys know what we're doing. I'm hoping to have an answer by next month, our December meeting, that way, because there will be an interim rate once projects start January 1. So we want to try to get this kind of handled a little bit by then. But we will have to amend if we decide to amend this, that is gonna take probably another month to do, because we'll have to present it, and then,
We won't have a vote on that till, even if it's ready, we can't vote till December on that.
so. I would imagine that first month of January, that might be when we have to do our amendment to it. I mean, because we'll have to discuss it and determine it and then get the paperwork done, if that's even what we're gonna do. I mean, like I said, I'm bringing it to those committee members to explain to them. I'm running the numbers, I'm doing the things to set down in front of them and show them what we've got and maybe some options. It's up to the board to make that decision, so. Yeah, Andy.
Yes, sir.
When do you expect the first bill to be sent out to the entire project?
So the first bill, the interim rate, so I don't know, I explained that interim rate once the contract starts. We are awarding bids and contracts will start January 1. So your January bill will be there. I have a feeling we'll probably be sending out that first interim rate in January.
It'll be the one that gets sent the month of February.
Yeah, it'll be sent the month of February. We're always paying that month prior to it.
I guess, I don't know, I can't speak for the board, but I will speak for the board. We want to be fair to everybody. You know, we're nonprofit, you know, we don't make any money on this. And I've always felt on this board is why do I give someone break and not someone else a break? If I can give a break, you know, it's all things equal, everyone ought to be about, you know, in the same category, but not every one of these risks out there or sites are the same. And so we want, and the more information we can get, you know, that's huge. You know, we know what the water usage is out there. That helps us a lot. So we're not there to gouge anybody, but we got a lot of, we got 1,000 other customers out there that we got to be fair. They say, hey, we treat y'all the same, and that's what we want to do. So, anybody else want to pile on that or agree with it or not?
No, I'd agree. I think as trustees, we take that responsibility as looking out for the ratepayers. As a utility, it's not like we own the system personally or as some other agency. We're not selling this to someone else, as maybe like some of these presentations. We're looking out for the ratepayers. It's why I get, why if you noticed, I got a little frustrated with ideas of people borrowing money to have to make these connections, because I'm afraid if you can't make the payments for your bills, how are you gonna pay 6% more on a loan for your connection? It just starts to compound the problem for our customers. And I don't want to see them make decisions that I wouldn't want to make for myself. So no, I think we take it seriously, and we want to find as fair a way as possible to come up with those rates and structure so that somebody in Monmouth isn't claiming that we're subsidizing someone else in Lynn Grove or vice versa. And there's no way to make it perfect, but we are trying to make that at least something that we can sleep at night as board members and make sure that we're not running the system in the red.
And no one wants to pay that bill. I mean, no one wants another monthly bill, whatever. But gotta happen. Questions, anything else? Any folks? It's more than welcome to bring questions up or thoughts, comments, or whatever. Yeah.
Okay, I think I'm good on the superintendent's report.
Okay. Ben, it looks like it's your time to shine.
Well, since we met last Wednesday.
Yeah.
That's changed.
Well, the Colts won since then.
Yeah. We did send out to the residents of the Project 6 area, the grinder pump station easement. So if they are getting a grinder pump station, they would have gotten an easement document. There's numbers they can call. They can look on the website for more information. Yeah, you're on there too.
I know, I've been getting them.
We're on there too. So, I will say that the inspector that I had for the last project is coming back to us. So he should be on the ground here soon and should be able to help out. Yeah, so, beyond that, we had the pre-closing meeting with SRF on the 6th. Everything went smoothly. We have been getting some feedback back on permitting for our construction permits from IDEM, but it's all been very benign. So I expect to have permits in hand before we close on the actual funding. We also sent a bunch of post-bid documentation on each of the contractors to the SRF folks so they can formally approve same. So everything's sort of lining up. I mean, I think we're gonna be good to go. We put together a notice of intent to award to each of the contractors, and gonna send that out so they can be prepared, ready to move once we formally close. So this is Project 6 now, so I think we know what we gotta do, and things are moving along well.
Yeah, I don't want to see us send out notice to proceed to these contractors and it's spring break before they start actually moving things in.
I will say this, Nate, Underground, who has the Winnikin job as well as the force main upgrade, has indicated to us they want to start on January 2.
There you go.
So
I hope to see it.
yeah,
Definitely.
I do too.
They've got that gravity, and they're using another company to come in to put the gravity system in so they can focus on the boring side of things. But
Okay.
as we all know, with boring machines, if it's freezing out, they ain't gonna be able to bore. So now they might be putting structures in or something like that. I'm not 100% on that, but I mean, we're weather permitted that time of year when it comes to boring. So
I always say construction extreme cold, extreme snow, that's the only thing that slows us really down. So we've had some relatively mild winters the last couple of years, so if we have another one, we'll be able to work through the winter. But that's all I've got.
So they got directional bore that Monmouth
Yeah.
Yeah,
pipes?
yeah, I think, yeah, they're gonna do all that, everything, small diameter in the 6-inch still.
And that's not HDPE pipe either.
They'll use PVC STR-21 Certalon.
Anything else on, any question further? All right, district attorney report.
We had the pre-closing, like Ben said, went very well. There's really not anything from the closing standpoint outstanding that I think is an issue. We got one couple final easement issues to get done, which I don't foresee that being any issue, any problem. And then we have, I went through that agreement with Allen County, made changes, and they'll, you know, they're not significant. It's just kind of clarification. So, and that's an agreement between Adams County and Allen County for us to service a handful of homes that are north of county line.
The county line.
Essentially just cedes territory to us that we can
Mhm.
work outside of our jurisdictional boundaries.
Yep.
Extremely specific date
Yeah.
to address, parcel address.
Yeah, we don't just get to run sewer in Allen County just because we want to.
But those, but that line, the main line runs on the south side and it's in Adams County. So all the infrastructure as it relates to, you know, this district system is located in Adams County. It's just gonna be a few laterals that would run over there and pick some folks up.
You've already got your Allen County highway permits running it. They're right. Right. Yeah, it's like,
Is that the right of way?
yeah, that's their county road, so.
I'm glad you brought that up.
Yeah, just those little.
Do we have to get sick Chris on that?
Do we have to get any clearance from Decatur or anything, say, you know, getting this stuff out there that,
We already did.
Yeah, we got the capacity allocation letters
okay,
from Decatur,
good.
but
and what,
we're gonna be updating our agreement with them, but that's ongoing.
and then how about, what's our best guess on the closing date?
December 9th.
That's pretty close.
That's this year.
Yeah, that's coming up.
You're still on the board for that one, so.
I was gonna get out of here for the damn head term brokers. I'm like, okay. That's it from,
Yep.
from you. All right. Other matters presented.
Just want to let everyone know that this is Jane's last board meeting today.
Oh, Jamie.
She will be
She doesn't want to join
officially
the board.
done December 5th. How many days?
13.
See, she's ready. So she's been a huge asset to the district. She's ran that office like a champ. She's took a lot of grief over the years, but wishing her the best
Absolutely.
of her retirement, hanging out in Florida. She's going to become a snowbird, it sounds like. But no, thank you so much for everything that you've done for us. So, and for the board and stuff, I got some cookies for her going away. They look pretty good. So
From Wells County, our RSD, thank you, Danny.
You're welcome.
You've been excellent.
Yes.
And I hope your replacement is just as
And this is Jamie Wetter, my replacement. We've been at it for about a week and a half. Training.
she's almost caught up. She almost knows everything.
She ain't run off yet.
Yeah,
That's
we got a week and a half in.
Wow,
So we
that's
get
pretty
through
good
2
already
weeks. I
for
feel
us.
better.
That's great.
Good.
Look, speaking as a representative of the board, thank you, Jane, for your service. You've been a blessing for us and wish you nothing but the best and
Thank you.
good times. Give her a round of applause. Okay, any other matters presented?
Union Chapel Church.
Well,
Okay.
and I think that's when I was talking in regards to them too, with that personnel or the the policy committee, when we have that meeting. I think in that, because like what I was telling them, right now it's set per seat. And looking back in the minutes and stuff, when that whole situation was brought up, that was the discussion. So I think that we need to have that amendment in there that if we're going to charge them per seat, and how many, I mean, like I said, if you have 400 seats in your church, are you charging 400 per person on those seats? So I feel like that's, I mean, I do believe we do need to maybe right now get that and get that started.
Can we get an average of how many people
Well,
attend?
It's.
No, I mean, if
Yeah.
I went to the church and said, you know, these folks churches.
And I got an
Average
average
over a
for
year,
that
how many people are at your church?
on a Sunday.
On a Sunday. Granted, we got some goofy, you know, not goofy days, in Christmas or, you know, some days it goes, blows its way out, but just say, hey, what's around?
We have attendance record.
Yeah.
Good. So those are available. So that would be,
Yeah.
that would be of interest on the policy committee, I would
I'd
think.
like to show.
But I know like Pleasantdale, that's the question here. I mean, this all got brought up with the school and the church there because of, and that's why things haven't been done out there yet, is because of this policy. And that's where we need to figure it out, because right now, if we did it on average, it doesn't meet our requirements. It doesn't meet our ordinance. So
Well,
I think.
I just don't want as the board to be at all to blame if we're incentivizing a church to pull a few out. To try to
No, and
cover.
that's where
crazy.
this,
We're in that sort of
Yeah.
situation where
I mean,
the
this
church
is.
is like considering pulling seats out because of a sewer rate.
Well,
That seems
and that becomes, this is items. We can tweak this to
Yeah.
what works for us. So I think that's what we truly need to do, and I mean, and that's with a kitchen or without a kitchen. That all changes everything. So I truly feel like that whole institutional thing right there needs to be tweaked in this.
Well, we've done a lot of house residential stuff. We haven't done a lot of churches, so we're still staggering a little bit. I
It's
think.
been a year.
Yeah.
Oh.
It's been a year
What have you been
since they
doing about
hooked up.
that? Was your job, right?
Why was it mine?
But no, so.
We'll get it figured out.
So the first week of December, that's where this needs to be brought up. Now, I do think that we can get something going on that side of it for now, so.
Yep.
Okay, public questions?
Yeah, got a question?
Policy meeting have a date, is that open to the public also?
No, that's just the committee, because it won't be a quorum. We can have meetings, and then once we do have our public meeting, that's the second Thursday in December.
That's the one you want to be at. Yeah, we can't, the committees can't make any decisions.
No, but we can bring,
Recommendations.
so December 11th will be the next meeting at 1:00 here. So we just can't all get together like this and have that discussion without it being a public meeting. Unless we have a special meeting, which I think there's no need for that. The 3 board members and myself can sit down, discuss the options or what they can then bring to the board to present if we do decide to change it. Any other questions? Yeah.
We have a property on Pickway Road and that's city water. And that gets metered. Is there any way that we can do that just like the city as far as meter water, sewer and trash pickup?
And what is your name? I probably need everybody who asks questions. I need your names and your addresses.
The Aaron Selking, the property is 7455.
So you're asking about the school?
No,
Oh.
I'm asking about a rental house on Pickway Road at a farm.
The building isn't truthfully set up that way. It's a flat rate system and the district's not sophisticated enough to try to meter water. We don't have a metered water rate for sewage. So if they were to change the rate ordinance, they could change it for that too, but it would be a special circumstance. That house might be the only house in the entire district that has a water.
But that would not be an option to work with the city that way.
I'm not saying it's not, I'm just saying we don't have it currently set up.
Because we would have to have a situation where they're compelled to give us the meter readings for us to try to do something, even if we did have that in the ordinance, because it's not essentially it's not an RSD meter. Right, so that might be some complications to that. So
We pay the city the rate. The city really don't have too much to do with like just that one meter, that's all our stuff's metered to the plant.
But as far as you guys will be replacing the line from the lift station at Monmouth, correct? Back to, correct. That would also tie in with North Point and Chapel Chase, which would be in the same situation.
They're not, those are tied in.
Those additions have their own separate force.
Yeah.
There's two 4-inches that run side by side there. One goes all the way to Monmouth, and then the other one goes to that lift station there on Pickway.
So this will not tie together.
No, this is separate from the city. We're abandoning our 4-inch that was going out to Monmouth. That is just gonna be cut off. We're moving across the road with a 6. Seven miles back to treatment plant from the school. There just ain't enough capacity. I mean, we don't have enough capacity with a 4-inch there, and then we go and add all of Chapel Chase in there, which is probably maybe half or maybe even more than what we have coming through there now. That'd have to be a pretty big line.
And that's what Nate and I have had conversations before about subdivisions. Getting full with utilities.
Oh, yeah.
This would be a way to.
Well, and I've got a question for you after the meeting that I want to bring up about that property now. That's something that we may want to discuss in our treatment agreement with the city anyway. That may be something that would simplify it, so.
Yeah, we won't say never, but for now, no.
Anything else? Yes, sir.
Jim Freak, I got questions for my son. He asked me to come up there and ask a question. First one is a sewer hookup required if the house is located more than 300 feet off the road? No?
No.
Not by the sewer district. It could be a health department question on that.
Can you answer this one? What is the cost of a hookup and cost of a hookup over 300 feet?
Ben?
The answer to your question is sort of a hard one, but we have set up the plan so that even homes that are beyond 300 feet, we would run sewer to. Now, again, if his home is beyond it, from his structure to our sewer line, if it's greater than 300 feet, he can opt out and not be serviced. But keep in mind, we'll run the extra distance to get to him. At the end of the day, we'll still set the grinder by the home. He'll just have to run new pipe to the grinder and new electricity.
340 feet.
Oh,
I'll throw in the 40 feet. He'll be fine.
Now say you don't do it and down the road, right now, this day, our grinders are $6,800. What I have in my shop, and I don't know, they've gone up. That's what I have to sell the ones that I'm setting on my lot for, that I paid for. Plus a $2,000 tap fee. And if you're over 300 feet, you're running a 2-inch line instead of 1.5 inches. And so
it's roughly $12 a foot. So I mean, that would be a very costly connection should he choose not to connect.
And that's $12 a foot. Is that just the pipe or is that installed?
That's installed, but again, it's a bid price too, so it'd likely be more than
Yeah.
I've heard 15.
that. That
12 is kind of a discounted
That wouldn't shock.
price, I've heard.
I got one more question. When is the project gonna run down 200 east?
You're talking South Decatur.
Yeah.
That contractor, I think, is gonna start closer to maybe, February or March.
February or March?
But they're gonna wrap up before the end, I mean, they'll be done by the end of the summer.
Now,
Hookups will probably be after that.
and I know where you're talking about. So he's on the alternate across 33.
Yeah, well, I still wanna run that line.
Okay.
We approved that line to be run across 33.
To the transfer station.
What's
Yeah.
the cost benefit of running the sewer line comparable to a septic system? Do you have any idea?
Maintenance.
Well, I mean, again, if you had to put in a brand new septic system in this day and age, you're probably looking at $20,000 to $30,000. You might have to have 2 sites. I mean, it's a pretty costly endeavor. If you did that math and if you didn't have that 20 or 30 burn hole in your pocket and you had to finance that, I guarantee it'd be over $100 a month. So to me, it's a win. And keep in mind too, you have to maintain your septic system. If you connect to the sewer district will take care of the operational maintenance of the facility. So all he has to do is call if something goes wrong with the pump.
Thank you.
Yes, ma'am.
Average cost for the hookup, just for somebody that's like close under 90 foot.
If you just have to run from your house to the grinder and it's close, I think you're talking
Probably minimum 1,500.
minimum
bucks.
1,500, max.
Depending on how far.
Depending on how far.
I mean, the biggest factor when we send guys out, it's gotta be 50 feet away from your well.
Yeah.
So hopefully your well's over 50 feet away. You can set that thing within 10 feet is what the code says from your house. So if you gotta run 2 sticks of pipe over and hook it up, I mean, and digging it and then running your electrical, depends on where your panel is in your house. There's some factors that go into it. So,
Plus you can do it yourself if you follow the specs.
Yeah,
I'm asking for somebody.
yeah, you're gravity, so.
Okay,
You
ma'am.
just have to follow the spec.
We're one of those on the Allen County side.
And what's your name and address?
Christine and Leonard Boldemeyer, 11223 South County Line Road East, just off Minnick. We have our own system. It's probably about the newest house in the area. And we have our own 3-tank system with a filter bed all, and we maintain it. We understand the benefit of hooking up now versus hooking up later. Our question is, when we received this letter the last time, they said the picture shows putting the 10-foot wide easement on the west side of our house. That's where our big row of pine trees is. Our whole system works east of the house.
Don't worry about that.
So we can go,
You go wherever you want it. You tell us where you want it, we put it.
Basically, at the end of the day, we'll meet on site and we'll pin down where you want this grinder pump station to go. And what you got in the mailing was just a representation of how it could.
yeah, cause there's no 10 foot between the house and the pine tree.
I know
You gotta
exactly
fit
where
in.
you're, I
Okay.
know your property.
Okay.
But that'll be negotiated in the field at the time and you can pretty much, within reason, put the thing wherever you.
Yeah, we got decent, cause when it shows the thing for the well, we have an inspection hole east of that before it gets to the first tank. They can put it somewhere near that
Yep.
inspection
You
hole
could
with
be-
those
You could be really
PVC
close.
lines, it would be,
50 foot from the well, right?
Correct.
Just don't put it in where you may add on or build a garage sometime,
no,
cause it'll
Not
Stop
possible
any.
where that is.
Okay.
Not possible where that is.
Again, it'll be field located, contractor, you guys, everybody signs off on it.
Okay.
You'll be able to talk it over once.
That's our question.
They got the Allen County system.
Now, this is something too, where this was an agreement more or less with, that there will be no new houses being hooked up in Allen County to this line. It's just existing homes. So something there too, because we're not gonna let somebody go and develop a whole area and build a bunch of houses and expect to get hooked up to our sewer, because this is kind of a one-time deal for existing homes that are out there.
We just didn't want to run a sewer line and then not have the folks on the north side of the road be able to knock.
Well, we were told it's not just a Adams County thing, it's a government thing, and I have to hook up eventually, so.
Great questions. Any other ones? I guess we'll go for a motion to adjourn.
There's another.
One more.
Whoa, whoa.
Yes.
We may have one more question, so it's gonna be.
Okay.
Gosh, then.
Take your time.
You want my address?
Sure.
11801 North, 350 West.
Thank you.
My question is, what do they do with residents' current septic system? Is it filled in? How does that work? Who pays for that?
So the homeowner's responsibility in the project is to hook up the house from the grinder, or if you're on a grinder, you have to hook up the house to the grinder. Once that's hooked up, you do have to abandon your existing septic tank. Usually in that process, whoever you have that does the hookup, they then will hire a pumper to come out. And as for the demolition of the old existing system, that is a health department requirement, because we don't want somebody walking outside and all of a sudden that thing caves in and you're falling into it. You'd never hear you down there, you know? So it becomes a safety reason. So the homeowner is responsible to have that crushed. Now, backfill wise, it can be pretty much anything you want. Something that the contractors do too is when they dig those 10-foot grinders in, they will leave that dirt on site. If you want it, then you can use that dirt to fill in that septic tank. Now understand, it will settle a little bit and things like that. So you're gonna want them to maybe revisit. We always say use like a sand or a stone up so high, and then use the rest of that dirt to kind of help with that backfill, because it will settle.
Is it 350 the gravity portion?
Oh yeah, 350 is the gravity portion.
They have a gravity connection. So there won't be a grinder.
Okay, I'm ignorant. That doesn't mean it.
It just means that you'll just have to run a pipe from the
What was
house
her
to the
address,
street.
bro?
350 West.
Oh, I know that.
11801.
That would be my cost.
Yes, correct. And you'll have to decommission the septic, that'll be your cost.
Should be just north of the
But
church.
you won't have to worry about pump station or electricity and all that. So that will be a benefit.
I don't need a pump station.
No. So you won't have to run any power or anything like that.
Nathan, I think we should point out that they do not have to abandon the complete septic system. but
Just the tank.
Just the tank.
Yes.
So, if you have a finger system out in your yard, you don't have to do anything.
You can just pull the pipes that are sticking out and pull them out, and you can just abandon what's there. And we've had people that actually want to build a barn over top of that old system or anything, and you can. I mean, it's your property to do as you wish with. And
If you have
They
a
can use it for
discharging
stormwater.
system that got storm lines to it from your gutters, you can keep all of that, can just bypass the old tank and keep flowing like it always did.
well, not through it. If they have a leach bed, you want to hook that to your perimeter
You wanna
drain
get that back.
if your
to the
system's
ground.
not already.
But no, but only if it's those good old discharging systems.
I have a question.
Yes.
Any of this. You were speaking about an interim rate. Is that yet to be established? Personally, how does that affect me?
It just means that once we actually issue the go-ahead to the contractors to start on the project, the district will begin to bill the people that are gonna be part of the connections an interim rate. And it's actually set up as 50% of what the final rates are gonna be, but I think it's $50.76. And you'll be billed
Yes.
that, again, conceivably as soon as February, and you'll pay that until your order.
And that's based on one EDU.
What'd she say?
What's EDU?
That's
one house.
one house.
The rate for 2026 is $98.
Sir,
What kind
sure,
of,
thank you, ma'am.
what kind of rate increase you guys think, like over the next 10 years? Do you see like $2 a month every from? What do you?
Can we actually, it's public knowledge now, right?
Yeah, you adapted the rate.
Okay, so in 2026, it's going up to 98. In 27, it's going up an additional 5% from there. I want to say it's what?
102 something.
102 something. And then it's going up 4.5% in 27.
107.63.
107.63 in 2028. That'll be the final rate. Now, something for new customers that have never been around. Sewer district's been here for 9 years now. We've never touched the rates until now. We had to do it because we got a 25% increase on our treatment costs from the city of Decatur. So in 9 years, what have you ever gone and bought that has not gone up in 9 years? I'm not saying that our rates aren't gonna go up again. I mean, we try to manage them. I will say this board has done their due diligence on making sure that we can manage this the way that we can at the lowest rate. One of the things is that we were very thoughtful on was our customers and not raising it one time up to $108, because we know that that affects certain people big time when they're on fixed incomes. So we wanted to do it. We're actually going to be kind of in the red for 2 more years and not making money. I mean, we're covering ourselves, but we're spending our what we have in our maintenance fund to help with our customers that increase. So we're doing that. I hate doing that as a running a district, but we're also doing it for our customers. And I feel like that's the key here.
There was a lot of.
And then to follow up on that, you know, if the city of Decatur does get to capacity, like the mayor has talked about, what would you guys be looking at, or has the mayor said anything of what the city of Decatur would ask for the sewer district if they did have to expand? What
That's a great question, Aaron. I have no idea
It's
there.
not discussed, that's not part of our treatment agreement with the city.
I mean,
Sewer district, we're the biggest customer of the city of Decatur now. And so with that, the city of Decatur makes a comfortable rate for treatment of the sewage from the city. It helps stabilize the rates in the city because they built a treatment plant that has capacity. If you had a restaurant and you wanted to have 80% of the seats filled, then you're making money, or at least you're utilizing the building that you have. When the city of Decatur bonds for a big treatment plant like they did, and they only use 60% of it, they've got 40% that doesn't utilize, and it still ages. So it's good for both the goose and the gander in this, that the city of Decatur is getting optimal use of their system. I know there's talk about somehow they're gonna hit this hard ceiling and then suddenly what's gonna happen? Well, you know, they're gonna expand. That's what they're gonna end up doing at whatever point. And for them, the benefit is they have all of these additional customers through the RSD that are gonna help normalize that rate, and it's gonna be more cost effective for everybody. I don't see the city getting into the position where they're gonna go immediately, well, that's it, we're gonna turn it off and they're gonna hit that line.
you don't see it going up from $100 to $150.
Yeah.
If they would have to add on to their infrastructure.
I mean, if you look at like Bluffton,
Rate's gonna go up, yes.
Bluffton just redid their treatment plant and their rates went up. They went up, but they didn't go skyrocketing up. I mean, nobody likes to see change. I mean, we're kind of stuck in a rock and a hard place here. Now, I mean, I know I sat at their Board of Works meeting and we're at 7% of their daily capacity. The next one behind us is at like 6%, 6.5. So that, you know, one of the big factories in town is behind us. And I know that was a concern that they had. What if they had a couple big factories come in here? Well, even at 6%, they're still setting with 25% on top of our 12.5% that we're using, that we have to use. We're only using 7. So, I mean, there's a lot of an industrial that would have to come into town to get there. But I think it is good that they're looking into it as an expansion for the future so they can start budgeting for that. And if we have to help, we'll address that time when it comes.
One other thing I would say too, to your question, our bill is made up of 3 components, and it's really roughly thirds. We spend a third on maintenance and employees, we spend a third on paying back the debt the district's incurred over the years, and we pay about a third for treatment. So even if the treatment rate increases by 20%, that doesn't mean your bill is gonna go seconds, it's only a third of it that is impacted.
No, but to your point is that for Decatur to cause us to increase our rate by another 50%, they would have to almost triple the in-city rates for sewage. Because the Decatur's treatment rate is still only like a third of that system. So as a comparison to that bill, they would have to significantly harm every constituent that's voting for them in Decatur to create that rate. I don't think Decatur is going to want to do that. They raised the rate in city 24%, and we're seeing over 3 years a 15% increase. So yes, it pushes us and it forced our hand, but it's not going to necessarily control that because we have our own debt service that's part of that. So I hope that helps. I mean, it will force us, but not to that sort of extreme.
And
I think they answered the question, but it was, so did Decatur raise the rate for everybody 25%?
Yeah.
Okay, so that was just across the board.
Yeah.
It wasn't just the regional school district.
Yeah.
No. And I think our language in our agreement says that they can't target the district. So as part of that, anything that they do has got to be a portion of it. And there is gaps in that as well, that if the city raises the rate, we have to have a certain notice period before it can even go to effect. That way we have a chance to develop our rate ordinances because it generates cost for us to try to react to that. So we've got language in there to help protect you from them just, oh yeah, we're gonna put 20% on the sewer district because I don't want my constituents to pay for it. That is language in the basic of our treatment agreement. So.
Great questions.
Is that all gravity fed?
just, yes, so 350 is all gravity. Not all of them. It goes, so where you're at on 375 there, 350, it goes to the intersection at County Line there. There will be a force main that runs to the east on County Line and picks up those homes right through there. But the main line, that'll dump into the manhole down at County Line in 350. It'll run gravity all the way back to the lift station that's that's in the orchard over there. And then there'll be a main line that then goes up 1175 up to, what is that there? That's 300. And then 300 to County Line, then all the way down to Williams. And then up 200 all the way to Sunnybrook.
1,200 a minute road there with 350, that's gonna be all have tank.
Yes. Yep. 350 is the only gravity. There is a little bit going down 1175 there, just to almost the ditch there, and then it stops, and then it's force main to catch the rest of it.
From the house to the street, is that 2 inch or 4 inch?
We're gonna run it for you.
Yeah,
That'll be a 6-inch tap there, but you can run 4-inch from your house to it. Yep. And they just put a coupler in there. You can go 4 to 6. We don't want to go 6 to 4 unless it's a directional coupler. But yeah, you can just put in a coupler there. And we set the tap right to the edge of the easement. So we stick a tap out, a piece of pipe out right to your property line for you to tap into. Anything else? Okay.
Ready for a motion? Motion to read by Nate, second by
Dion.
Dion. Meeting adjourned. Thank you all for your questions.
I couldn't hear Mark's voice clearly all the way through on those bills. Okay, the numbers, for all the payments here.
Okay.
We got, the first one's 303.9 million something. That's the first payment from the city.
Let me say what I have so I don't lose it and then I'll be able to read it off to you.
Some guns, Mike.
You better go get them.
In the middle of your talk, you said you have 10 or 12 houses that aren't going to be done. Is that Mag Lake and Fun Lake there? Okay.
And Winchester, so Project 5.
Winchester, oh, this is Project 5.
Just say
I'm trying to
Project
give
5.
location.
Yeah.
Rookie, how did my little sweetheart doing?
That's not very many.
I know it.
Not for the 200.
How you doing?
You got 200 architects.
Been a while.
And they'll feel offended. Oh, good. That's great.
Well, I recognize
Now,
you.
they made it 50-76,
You know,
So I got the right number.
when we did the church.
Colorado?
Wasn't it?
What a
I know.
shit show.
Who's that old son of a bitch right there?
I don't know.
Where's he
Looks
working?
like he needs a shave.
He's working on
There
it,
was
still
so
working
few
on that.
members there.
We only ever turn up the one.
He's doing the same shit
Yeah,
out
because
there
they
he's
only
doing
had
here.
like 20 members.
I knew he couldn't sit there and not say
And not even that
I
many
was
showed
like,
up.
as
They'd
soon as
have
he
maybe
said
7
something,
or
I was
8.
like, okay.
Contractor.
They had a,
You know, there's
but I
all
was
kinds of
remembering
bills.
that we did it. It wasn't
But
like a picture. We're gonna have to watch how you do it.
That's
Right.
Guy knows you pretty good.
Yeah.
Remember me getting hit about all that.